Okay, so we are live. Hello, comrades. Today we will talk very good English. You can learn our grammar, our the best English skills made in Poland.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
so I am here with Tomasz Jankowski from YouTube channel Against Censorship, Wbrew Cenzurze in Polish. Hello, Tomek.
Hello and welcome, comrades. There is a great honor to talk with you.
So, firstly, could you say something about you? What is your political opinions? And the most important thing which interesting me is the history of the party which you created, party Zmiana, change, and repression, the hard repression which your party was a victim. And also, I invite all the comrades who are watching this video to to watch video which I recorded with Mateusz Piskorski. In the description, you can find link to this video. It's an interview with Mateusz Piskorski, who is a comrade of and 3 years he passed in Polish prison. So Tomasz, tell all the thing who you are and
Firstly, now I'm not a politician. I'm only an independent journalist, I can say. But when I was 21, I was joined to the Samoobrona party and worked with Andrzej Lepper, the most popular politician of these times in Poland. And of course with Mateusz Piskorski, but after collapse of Samoobrona party, we created Zmiana party, Change. There was a syncretic, eclectic party, like from the dreams of Alexander Drugin, but of course on the Polish ground with Polish national interest views, with views beyond left and right, but with, in my opinion, with more socialist economical program than classical social democratic program. And this party was not registered by the Polish system. And after more than 1 year of activity of this party, the Mateusz Piskorski was arrested and accused of spy to the Russia, later to the China and other country. If I could remember, even Iraqi. That was
yes,
just
Firstly, it was Iraq, but
yes.
after they understand that we are occupied Iraq, so it's not Iraq, so Iran, and
Yes, but Piskorski in this accuse was better than James Bond. But the next 3 years of activity of this party was the 90% of activity was a fight about the freedom of for freedom of Mateusz Piskorski, and there was very tiring times for me. And of course, we haven't in these times we haven't allies in Poland. After only after 2 years, there was an opinion of UN, United Nations, which was against the arrest of Mateusz Piskorski, and only after these 2 years we have a arguments and support from the mainstream, the part of mainstream in Poland. And yes, of course, after these 3 years, yes, you can watch the video about the Mateusz Piskorski. This video was created after 1 year of 1 or 2 year of arrest. And there is, of course, in Polish language. But after these 3 years, and when the Mateusz Piskorski was free, we can't. Me and Mateusz Piskorski can't contact because after two time of in the court. Przesłuchanie. I lost the words. Just a second. After my hearing audition in court, and there was next 3 years. So after 6 years of arrest of Mateusz Piskorski, we decide to maybe for only time. I don't know what time, but we decide that the most important than political activity is job for the knowledge of Polish people, because majority of Polish people don't know anything about the arrest of Mateusz Piskorski and don't interest of activity of Change Party, and we decide, and and I can say that was good decision. We decide to create the YouTube channel against censorship, which you show on our connect, and there is our job. I can say. There is just only one activity. Of course, I can talk with any media from the world, Russia, Belarusian, rarely from the other country, from the Poland, of course. But there is my most important, and there is my direct activity now against censorship channel.
So I will ask you a rhetoric question. For the viewers outside from Poland, probably you know that we had election in October, and soon probably there will be new government. The Morawiecki government with the guys like Zbigniew Ziobro, Minister of Justice, and Kamiński, Minister of the Secret Service. All these guys will be no longer in power, and also the politician from the who want to create new government say something about the commission to verify if there was some kind of the using political power to the political repression. Do you think that they will talk about your case about the Mateusz Piskorski? Do you think that the Donald Tusk will make that Poland will excuse Mateusz Piskorski for 3 years of being in prison in Poland?
I don't believe, but there is a political game. If the case of Mateusz Piskorski would be, for example, the political shot against Ziobro or Kamiński, is possible, but only in this way, not because the Polish politicians want to create any justice for Mateusz Piskorski. There is no option.
I said that for me it was a rhetoric question, because I also make few times interview with Leonid Sviridov, the Russian journalist who lived in Poland more than 20 years, and in 2015 he was expelled from Poland, and until today it is forbidden for him came back to Poland, but also came back to the European Union, to the Schengen zone. and it is important because Sviridov, the repression against him was in the time of the liberal government and the presidency of the Bronisław Komorowski. So from this perspective, I don't believe that there will be any justice in the time of the Tusk.
Yes, yes, yes. But case of Leonid Sviridov cannot be argument to political fight in Poland against the most important political parties in Poland. I don't know what they think about the case of Piskorski, because we must remember that in case of Piskorski we have an opinion of United Nations, and there can be any argument. I'm not sure, but there is only possibility.
Okay, so about this question, I would ask also, could you say something about the comportement of the Polish leftist activists who are very often they are talking about the human rights, about the democracy. If some other leftist activists in Poland or NGOs, for example, I don't know, Amnesty International, if they help your the people who are fighting for the liberation of Mateusz Piskorski if they help you in this case.
Only few people from the traditional left in Poland, for example, Piotr Ikonowicz, in these times. But there is, there wasn't support. That was only okay. I understand you, but there isn't support. Any leftist from the not from mainstream, of course. Politicians from the left side support, but not so loudly. After opinion of United Nations, of course, that was different situation, but earlier that was for example, Michał Nowicki support us in your YouTube channel. You are also a leftist from Poland, but I know and you know that the people from the left side in Poland, and we know there is not the main point of their activities. Their activities is like you say the human rights, LGBT.
Yes, but human rights not for every human. So they are not talking about Julian Assange. They are not talking about Mateusz Piskorski. They are talking about Navalny, for example, they are fighting for the human rights in Cuba, in Belarus, in Iran. Yes, this is good.
Pussy riots, for example. Yeah. Because there is opportunists like in books of Lenin who describe this problem. There is opportunists, and like you said, there is people dependent of NGOs, which was financed by George Soros or other American Anglo-Saxon oligarchs who has money, who have money.
Or they were supported from other NGOs, for example, the Rosa Luxemburg Foundation. And it is very funny, NGOs, because this NGOs, non-governmental organization, is financed by the government of Germany. So it is very funny.
Yes. There is wing of imperial politics of Western Germany, but there is, in my opinion, there is a better option from the Anglo-Saxon countries when the state haven't control about for the oligarchs. There is not an umbrella for oligarchs, and there is two independents from the state.
So the priority here are our viewers. They make question for you, so I will read. Do you think that the political scene in Poland resemble the one in Ukraine? I mean, Zelensky's appearance out of nowhere, just like Hołownia, apparently candidate for presidential election. In my opinion, Zelensky 5 years ago, he was more handsome than Hołownia. Hołownia, he's ugly, but it's only my opinion.
There's, of course, there is similar situation, but we must we have to watch on Ukraine and Poland from the geopolitical views, geopolitical point of view, because the role of Ukraine in Anglo-Saxon system of security that was only anti-Russia. Poland, of course, could have this role, and then there is, I fear the future, of course, but now we are safety because the Germany have too many economical business in Poland to accept war in Polish territory. There is, there is funny because we are not a sovereign country, and there is our strong that the and of course the politicians who will be ruled in Poland after last election. There are, of course, the politicians with the German influence, and then there is good for us. So, of course, there is not good from the sovereign point of view and from the patriotical point of view. But in this situation, there is best option. I think that role of Ukraine at least is different that role in Poland.
Yes, but there are very important similarities. The most important similarity, in my opinion, is the fascization of our countries, promotion of the extreme right, extremist, and nostalgic the times of the Second World War. In Poland, we have something calling the cursed soldiers, żołnierze wyklęci. So it was after 50 years of the socialist Poland, but even in 1990s in Poland, these people were in Polish books for the history presented like a criminals, terrorists, murderers who killed the innocent Polish peasants only because they take a land from the land reform. And now, after, I don't know, after creation of the IPN, the Institute of the National Remembrance, they started to create these guys like a national hero. And in Ukraine, these things is even worse because they create really Nazis, these cursed soldiers in Poland. Some of them have some collaboration, for example, Brygada Świętokrzyska NSZ, but some of them it was only the ex-members of the other partisan groups, and they were not agreed to building socialist Poland. These guys in Ukraine.
There is an influence of myth of the Poland is a part of Western. Yes, that we must be, we have to be like the sword of Western, and we are support of and the first part of Western values. There is like the German Hitlerist propaganda from the last years of Second World War. Yes, there is very similar, and I think there is, of course, dangerous for the Polish future, and this identity which you talk about there. This is a process because our people from the my just a second. Mm, there is people from our generations and generations which was later after me, after my generation, live in the Western identity, talk more English words, and faith that we are one nation with one tradition, with one interest, and they live in this myth of Polish Western identity. Yes, 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 and there is a part. There is a historical part of this identity. The soldiers, which you say.
I for the we talked about the history politics of our governments in Poland and in Ukraine, but it has a very important consequence for the political life in our countries because they use the promotion of the criminals from history to to promote the criminals today, and all this activity of Battalion Azov and other Nazi organization in Ukraine, which in 2014 was a marginal group. In my opinion, today in 2022, 2023, this Nazification of Ukraine are very, very dangerous. Now it's not only some kind of the small marginal groups, but now it's a politic of the Ukrainian government. And when we listen the most important politician in Ukraine, for example, Zaluzhny, which he presenting himself in the behind the poster of Stefan Bandera. For me, like a Polish, very dangerous that guy with weapon are presenting himself like with poster of Bandera, who killed, who ordered to kill thousands of Poles.
There is only proof of plurality of Western politics because in the war when we have a war against Russia, even Nazis and neo-Nazis could be good. like for example, from the Azov and the other battalions, Ukrainian battalions, and the children from Donbass, there was not a human because from the 2014 to 2022, we had many victims, including children on the Donbass region. And there was not any scandal in Europe. There was not against the European values. Just there is only proof for the purity of imperialist politic from Anglo-Saxon Euro-Atlantic region, I can say.
But I am thinking that even if there are very important similarities between Poland and Ukraine, the Ukraine is much worse than Poland. I think that if today we have the same regime in Poland like in Ukraine, you and the against the censorship channel will be closed, and you will also be closed, or even worse. So there are some difference, and also very important difference is question of the national minorities. In Ukraine, we have fascism and also the building that one ethnic state nation, what one nation in the state. In Poland, we have something different. I don't know, 1 or 2 million Ukrainians live in Poland, and they can speaking in Ukrainian language without any
They're
problem.
speaking Russian language. I have ears, really. They're speaking Russian language.
Yes,
Not Polish, not Polish.
yes, yes, yes,
I want.
yes, but it is different because in Warsaw they can speak Russian language, and in Lvov they can't.
Yes, yes, yes. There is land of freedom for the Ukrainian people, Poland, because Ukrainian people can to speak Russian.
Another question from the chat. What is public opinion regarding financial claims for war losses? What do you think Poles are destroying monuments to soldiers who gave their blood for German industrialized land? Maybe you can say something about 9 of May celebration in Warsaw and how it's happened.
But firstly, I want to answer to the question. The public opinion don't know about the financial crimes of war losses because we have a growth of inflation, and then there is of course there is a cost, and there is a problem, real problem, but Polish people don't know about that. About the historical question, there is a like we said earlier, there is politics of rebirth of identity of Polish people and to the Western identity, and there is we don't think about Poland like our country, our business. We think that our business is only way to be a part of Western allies and better from of United States. Really, many Polish people think in this way. Not of course they think there are patriots, but if you want to discuss in Polish public with Polish public opinion about the allies of Poland, you can hear, for example, that you are against Polish business because the Polish business is only one, the ally with alliance with United States. There is like from the Holy Bible. You can't discuss with them. And about 9 May. So the should be the Polish day of the Polish win in the Second World War, because we in this war for us there is not war about the greater Poland, for greater Poland and then the new territories. That was a war in defense of Polish nation, because the plans of Hitler is of German occupants was the not only Holocaust against Jewish people, but also against Slavic people, and we must remember about that. But now the 9 May, the Polish people can't go with flowers to the monuments, and then I remember like 2.5 years ago I was attacked by Ukrainian activists, maybe not Ukrainian banderist, neo-banderist, neo-Nazis activists from Ukraine, because I have flowers, and then I'm going to the I went to the monument of Soviet soldiers, and they were attacked at me, and not only me, but also a Russian ambassador in Poland. But later, that wasn't a reaction of Polish police. The Polish police watched for these events and don't react. So there is also against Polish law, and there is not a problem for the Polish authorities. So there is the effect of this is the idea that we are not just state, because the proof of existing of state, there is law, and the police should be defend of law, yeah, especially in the situation that they are in this in grant and watch for there.
You mentioned some very important thing about the plans of the Hitler and Nazis to destroy the Polish nation or making Polish people the slave of the Nazis. But I think that now, from the perspective of the war in Ukraine, we can differently things about the history of the Warsaw insurrection and all these people who were supporting by the British people, because the tragic history of Ukraine today is that you in your channel you make recently the video about the rzeźnik Ukrainy, about
Butcher of Ukraine.
Butcher of Ukraine, about the how is his name? I forgot.
Boris Johnson. Boris Johnson. Former Prime Minister of Great Britain.
Yes. So the story is like this: that after a few weeks of war, Ukraine and Russia make a peace talks in Turkey, and they wanted to finish this war. So many Ukrainians will be still alive, many buildings will be not destroyed, and only because the activity of the British Prime Minister, the war was continue, and I don't know how many, maybe 500,000 or more Ukrainian people died because of this. British government push Ukrainian to annihilation, and also I think that when the war will finish, the Polish people have to think about history of the Warsaw insurrection, how and Warsaw insurrection and the idiocy of this, because I'm sure in 100% that sooner or later, maybe in 1 month, maybe in 6 months, the war in Ukraine will be finished, and will be finished with the front line like today, that Crimea and this four Kherson, Zaporozhye, Donetsk, and Lugansk will be part of Russia, and the war will be finished, or will be not finished, but the war activity will be finished, like in the Korean peninsula. And so it will be the proof that all this war it was stupid. It was and there is no logic in this. But the Ukrainian people died, and Polish people who are organized this Warsaw independence also died without any logic in it. It was the loss of the Polish blood of the Polish nation. I don't know if you are agree with me to.
You forgot one important thing: the construct of moral win. In our narrative, the Warsaw Uprising was moral win. In this opinion, there was not a failure because 100,000 people. There is not a problem. That was a
No,
blood,
300,000.
blood. I know, but there is an example. There is a cause of moral win, and I think, uh, unfortunately, that will be myth also in Ukraine. Of course, the public opinion in Poland not ever accept of this moral win of Warsaw Uprising, but there that was in years of independent Polish People Republic, when we was our Polish historical and historical narrative of Poland. But after counter-revolution in 89 year, our historical narrative was created by the people who was schooled in Western countries, in U.S. State of Department, German foundations. So we haven't now. We just haven't Polish political and historical views. The historical policy, which there was a point of Kaczynski, Jarosław, and Lech. There is only history with this pro-Western wing, and there is only idea to create Polish history like a history of Western countries. And the myth of Warsaw Uprising and moral win is very, very useful for this idea.
I have very important word to our viewers outside Poland, from the USA and from Western Europe and other continents. I hope that there are some viewers from other continents. You need to know one thing about Poland, that we had many wars in our past. Most of this war we lost, but we were always the moral in the moral. We have always moral victory, moral winners. We are the nation of the moral winners. So I will read the question which I prepared earlier. Together with Mateusz Piskorski, you run the Against Censorship channel. I believe that this channel is particularly important in a country like Poland, where there is a totalitarian atmosphere and the message in the Polish media is one-sided. Whether it is a private media or government media, whether liberal or leftist media, everywhere there is the same Russophobic narrative and repetition of the lies of Ukrainian propaganda. The channel Against Censorship shows a different face of the war in Ukraine, and you deserve great respect for the work you do. You are doing in Poland what Scott Ritter is doing in the USA. Your activity was also appreciated by the Ukrainian Special Services, and your name is on the Mirot Forec list. From time to time, you are also attacked in the Polish media. I would like to ask you how ordinary Poles feel about your activities. In your opinion, how many Poles think independently and do not accept the official pro-Ukrainian narrative of the Polish government?
There is not a very popular channel in Poland, but yes, there was any accidents when we was in Polish cities and people congratulations congratulations for us for this channel, but not many. There was not any attack for us, at least. I don't know what will be in future, but there is not many people. This on 20,000, 20 and half thousand people, at least on the Against Censorship channel. But I think the potential of this channel and alternative informations in Poland is more than with other countries in Europe. Two reasons. First reason is a Polish non-conformist nature, because in our history created our identity like the non-conformists, because our identity created in times without our state, and we have a we Polish people have a potential to be against official sources. And secondly, the policy of Polish informations was the policy of Polish informations is like for the numbers. Excuse me, but there is only one way, one view, and Ukrainian sources, okay, Russian sources, fully against. There is only propaganda. The clever people who wants now anything about Ukrainian war from the Polish media have to look for other sources. For example, like our channel Against Censorship, and the one question I have to say there, on the Ukrainian list of Mirotvorets of Ukrainian Special Service, I was from the 2017, if I could remember, after my activity in Russian media. That was earlier than Against Censorship and then new phase of the Ukrainian war.
But it's this thing that everything which came from Ukraine is good. It's not so simple, because, for example, Arestovich, when he was propagandist of Zelensky, he was good. When he stopped to talk, when he starting to talk about the peace in this war, he's not really Ukrainian now. That it's very funny that in Ukrainian government and also in Polish media they are using something like. They decide who is true Ukrainian now, because you can be the citoyen of the citizen of the Ukraine, you can speak Russian or Ukrainian language, but it's not give you a right to be a true Ukrainian. We, the Western elite, decide who is true Ukrainian.
There is there is very funny, because on Against Censorship, our information program from the Thursday and from the Saturday, there was not from Russian sources. We take sources from Western media, from Ukrainian media, from Ukrainian social media, and even their, I can say, their real research, there is not in Poland. There is not similar in Poland, because we have informations like from the front line, Ukrainian front line, not from real world. And of course, I want to invite our viewers that in the next few weeks we started with English version of Against Censorship, with this name, Against Censorship, and the Russian language version is already is on the YouTube. So I invite you. And you know about
It's
Arestovich
already
and
already.
yeah. Wbrew Cenzurze. There is
Why?
in Russian. But if you want looking for the with the Russian alphabet, you can
Ah.
have to use.
Can you send me the link in the in email? So I
Of course. I will send you after our
no.
thing.
So
Now, oh,
yes. Oh no, if it is problem.
but I
mm.
haven't Russian alphabet on our.
Okay. We
But
will.
just a second. There is on our community. Yes. And when I can say you there
Visual.
in the chat, okay, private chat.
No.
I send you. I send you.
Вопреки цензуре, я знаю, вижу.
Yeah.
Это, да?
Yes, there is Russian language version, of course. That there is only start of this version, so there will be more videos. We need the time because there is not a great TV channel, but we working in 3 or 4 people, and there is a lot of work for these channels.
You know, I am working alone and myself try to make in English, French, Russian, and I started with Monica in one month earlier in German. So
So.
and I think that it is very useful for the especially now when we see that in from every country of the Western we had the same problem with the sending weapons, sending money, and supporting Nazis in Ukraine. But unfortunately, in Poland, we didn't have the anti-war movement in this scale, like in German or France or USA. So I think that it's very important to Polish guys like us to have contacts with similar comrades from other countries, because we need in this fight we need to be together, because our enemies, they are collaborating together, the governments all the time, that they have meetings together, and we are divided. So it is this, even when we make language mistakes, and of course language for me is for communicate, and the comrades from other countries, they understand us, I hope. And every video, every media in the languages more with bigger audience than Poland is very, very important for Poland.
Yes, and please be patient, because the leader of Polish anti-war movement is a former informer of Polish special service, so Leszek Sykulski, and you know we have to be careful. Just this is our problem in Poland. But I inviting our viewers in Polish language to our to next Wednesday on our live in the Against Censorship. Then we present the proofs of his cooperation with Polish special service.
Yes, but when I'm talking about the Polish anti-war movement, I'm not talking about some
Yes, yes,
organization.
I
I'm
understand.
talking about all these people, which maybe some of them are active. There will be question about this, but some are totally passive. But when I was in Poland and I talked with normal guys, they were agree with me. So there is a hope that many. Oh, maybe I will read because it was better. Um, and I would like to ask about people who not only think like you but also protest in the streets. From my perspective as an immigrant, I see that there is a lot of potential for rebellion in Polish society. But unfortunately, this rebellion is terribly divided. The border with Ukraine has been blocked since November 6, organized by the truck drivers. Previously, the borders were blocked by farmers. There were also several anti-war demonstrations that demanded to stop the arms supplies to Ukraine. So you can see that there is a huge potential for rebellion. Do you think there is any chance that this movement will unite?
There is like the 1 point parties in Western politology. There is not people with anti-war views. There is only people with other business than business of Polish government and policy of support to the Ukrainian army. Mm, their views could be different, and for example, they can support Ukrainian government, but they are against this policy in their point. So what I can say. I can say that there is not a potential to create a new political party or movement from these people, but there is and there could be one from proof that the views of Polish society could be changed in next years and next these examples when the Polish and Ukrainian business of Polish people and Ukrainian government can be different. Only they.
But could you say something more about this truck drivers protest, because it's growing? There are also the Slovak drivers, the Hungarian drivers who starting to block the border with Ukraine today. So something is, I don't know. Do you have contact with these guys?
I haven't, but my colleagues have a contact with these guys, and there is a problem because Ukrainian after decision of European Union, Ukrainians drivers haven't law like the drivers from the European countries, and there is just like a mm, like rivalization, competition against this business business of European drivers and Ukrainian drivers who haven't different law in Ukraine, and of course there is financial problem for these drivers, not only for drivers, like you remember that was in problem for the Polish farmers a few months ago, and I think the potential, unfortunately, is that many professional groups in Poland would have a problems with in the future.
There is two questions for you. One is difficult. Do you want I
Oh,
read the difficult question?
yeah.
Is there any ideology behind Wbrew Cenzurze YouTube channel, or it's just based on eclectic viewpoints of various capitalist supporters like Dugin or outright fascists like Fiore?
There is not ideology of against censorship. Only one ideology is free worlds of open free worlds platform, because there is in our opinion there is most important problem in sphere of information in Poland.
What do you think about Sikulski idea that Poland should join BRICS?
I don't believe in the words of Sikulski because I know his activity in the last years.
But
But
about
of course, I support.
idea is good.
Idea is good, of course.
Okay, what? Recently, elections were held in Slovakia, and the new prime minister was Robert Fico from the Social Democratic Party, who immediately after taking power stopped sending weapons to Ukraine. Elections were also held in Poland. Unfortunately, the government will soon change in our country, but I am afraid that nothing will change in the case of Ukraine. Poles and Slovaks speak very similar languages. Why do you think there is such a big difference between our societies?
Not different in societies, but different is a political role in Anglo-Saxon system of dominance in our region of Europe. Because, for example, Czech Republic, Slovakia, and Hungary is in the Central Europe, and this business of Central Europe is and sphere of influence in Central Europe is more German than American or Anglo-Saxon, including Great Britain influence. Unfortunately, Poland, Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia is in the alliance in alliance. Are in the alliance in alliance with more Anglo-Saxon influence, which are, of course, for Anglo-Saxons, war in Ukraine or in other part of Central Europe, there is not a problem because there is not war for his board for their borders, and of course they are more elastic in a scenario of future of war against Russia, and the Polish people, 40 million people, could be good source for this war, and then there is this is the different between Polish and Slovakians, not society but political allies.
What is your opinion about the new Polish government plans to restore pensions to? We don't have still the new Polish government, but plans to restore pensions to former security service employees. Can we hope that Polish communists will not be as persecuted as they were by peace?
Yes, but there is not many people, you know. We have a 2023 year, so there is not huge group of people. So that there is a, but from the state from the point of view of citizen of state, there is course, good decision, because we are, if we want to be real state, we can't create law which will be which will be against the workers of Polish state. You know, there is not ideological question. There is just question from the Polish point of view and point of view of Polish future. You know, when we want, for example, cooperate with any people in other countries who, for example, wants to be of agent of our state. These people should be sure that the Polish state will his pay their salary to the end of life, not independent of Polish government. There is only this view, this point of view is important, in my opinion.
Now I would like to ask about your attitude towards European conservative politicians such as Viktor Orban, the German AfD, and many other similar circles who have been presenting a relatively rational position towards the war in Ukraine over the last several months. Unfortunately, these same people have been terribly embarrassing themselves in recent weeks and uncritically support Israeli crimes against the Gaza zone. How do you explain the phenomenon that the same parties contest NATO politics in Eastern Europe and support NATO in the Middle East?
Now, unfortunately, the many far right of conservative right parties in Europe, also in Central Europe and in Western Europe, is under influence of Trumpist, Republican politician funds from the USA. And you know that the support of Israel is one from the most important question for the Republicans. So there, unfortunately, that could be like the order from his sponsors. There is only my idea. I haven't proof.
Yes, but it's very important that you mentioned Trump and that Trump, in the same time, have in his politics toward North Korea, for example. It was one
Yeah.
of the best in the history of the United States.
Please remember that, of course, Republicans now are against the support of Ukrainian government, but in the future, Republicans will be, in my opinion, will be in avant-garde of anti-Chinese politics. So there is not there is like decision war with Russia or with China, and this is for us, of course. Now the better is peace in Ukraine, but there is not situation that the Democrats are for the war and the Republicans are for the peace. Not no. There is for the both are support war for the defense of American sphere of influence, but in other place of world.
I think that it is the consequence that there is a lot of racists, true racists in the Trump movement, and for them, the more important is, are you a Christian and what is your color of the skin? And for them, all this war with Russia is stupid because they wanted to make some kind of the good relation in Russia in the big war against the Muslim world and China's, and it is something that in the same time Trump have very stupid position towards Iran, and also to push the US embassy in the Jerusalem. So he making he was one of the guy who pushed this escalation in the Middle East, and in the same time in
In the
Ukraine.
South America, for example,
Yes,
the the you know the is on the Venezuela was coup d'état.
yes, but now this theory about racism is not working because the South America is the leaders of South America are white and it is Christian.
Yes,
So
but Latin, there is not real white people. There is not WASP, white Anglo-Saxon Protestants.
yes, but it's not logic. It's not logic, but after is a question who you are. I think that we are the people who are from Poland, and we are firstly we are thinking about the possibilities for the political activity here in Poland. And here in Poland, everybody who are against to push Poland to the new world war, and me, you, and our friends will be sent to this war, and we will die.
Yeah.
We need to search the allies, even if they are motherfuckers. Or
Comrade Michael, you have right. The Republicans and rightists from USA need Russia of Russian neutrality to fight against the anti-imperialist countries in the world, like the China, Iran, like the Arabic people, Muslim people who wants fight for the liberation from the Israeli. And we must remember about there when we think that Trump will be the best option in the United States. Better for us in this situation now, today, but not in the anti-imperialist policy which we all support, I think.
But in my question, I mentioned the war in Palestine, and I want to ask you about this. I want to ask, what do you think will be the future of the European Union? Because from French perspective, but also I think from German perspective, we see a lot of how this society now are divided. And it is something totally different than in the question of the war in Ukraine. In the question of the war in Ukraine, the elites were supporting Zelensky, and the majority of the society were passive to this. In the question of the Palestine is something totally different. We have millions of people who are came identify them like Muslim, and they are solidar with the Palestinians, but also a lot of people who are anti-system, anti-government since the COVID, since war in Ukraine, and they are always against the mainstream media. And now when the mainstream media push to support the killing babies in Gaza, they are against it. And how do you think it will change the situation in Ukraine. This society, European divided society in Europe. It is something which I think and I hope that elites are afraid. When Biden he came to Warsaw and he had a speech a few weeks after the beginning of the special military operation, he repeated the word "we are united," I don't know, 10 times. We are united as never. We are united. We are united. We are united. And now you are going to Paris or the Germany or Great Britain, and you see, no, you are not united. You are totally divided, and the young workers are against you, and this movement is growing. You see how many hundreds of thousands people are going to the street in London, in USA, in France. How do you
No,
think?
there is very difficult question because the future of European Union is there is of course the political movements which want total unite for the European Union, but we can see other views, especially in the Central Europe, like you said, for example, in Hungary, in Slovakia. We don't now future. Also in France, maybe the candidate from the National Front win next election. And there is one question, the question about war in Ukraine. Yes, we can say this change of this united every day. Now I I can invite for the again censorship. We see that for example, arms from Europe are not for the Ukraine are not like this, like that was in promise of European politicians, and of course the European politicians already say about the meet with Vladimir Putin. So that there is every day there is a change. That every hopes that then that Ukrainian army win this war against Russia. You can see that was only like myth and only like lie, just lie. I shouldn't look for other words.
Okay, so could you one more time repeat when will you run your English speaking channel, how the viewers can find you?
The more every links will be on our Against Censorship Polish channel, and there will be start in next week, 2-3 weeks, I think.
So thank you very much for conversation.
Thank you, and sorry for my English.
No. It's a pleasure. We are showing that for us the most important is the message which I can make some anecdote about the I don't know, it was about who, maybe about Rosa Luxemburg or Dzierżyński or something like this. But some of the Polish communists have a speech in some communist meeting, and he makes a lot of language mistakes, And after he said sorry for the mistake and say, it's not important that you are talking in Polish, in Russian, or in German. It's important that you are talking in Bolshevik language, and we understand this. And so, and
So you
I have
decide that was Bolshevik language or just the East Slavic English.
but I have some. It gives me a lot of pleasure to make these videos in English, not because I like English language, but because of the reaction of the Polish society, Polish neo-colonial society, which which have some I don't know religious ideas about the everything which came from West, and it's in the schools, in the work, in the media, all the time they repeat you need to speak the Western languages. If you are not speaking about Western languages, you are nothing.
There
And
is colonization of mentality. I will talk about there in our channel on the Monday.
and it's very fun, and that in this colonization of mentality, when everybody who is good Pole have to speak the Western language, and the people in Poland hate, a lot of them hate me for my political ideas. Now they don't know what to say when I starting to record videos in the Western language, and maybe they understand what I am talking here in English because English is popular. But when I am making video in French, nobody nobody understand, because in the 19th century French language was important in Poland, but now
Still is important in the diplomats for the diplomats, for example.
yes, but there is a big fight between the
And interesting for in the Olympic Games, you have also English, French, and language of homes. Organized organized of Olympic Games, but French language is all the times in the Olympic Games.
and I will participate in the next Olympic Games. No, but it's another subject. I wanted to come back Poland earlier, but I decided that with my competition of the with my English languages skills, I can some money in the time of Olympic Games. So I will return to our homeland a little um, after of this. So
Okay.
thank you very much, Tomek.
Thank you to our viewers
And good luck with this new project of English, because it's very I think that I'm alone in this, and when it's more people, there is a competition, there is some true about this thinking that capitalism is good because the competition is Mm, when I see that there is somebody making something else, it's mobilized me to work. In last month, this channel was dying. I didn't publish videos here, but when I will see that you have some interesting materials, I will make everything my best to also publish good materials, and this is good.
for us socialists, there is not competition, but there is cooperation.
Yes. But it's uh, cooperation. But also in cooperation, I like to the people. I am a lazy guy, and I need to something push me to work. And when
Okay.
something push me, I can be very hardworking guy, but I need to have some motivation. And when you start with your channel, maybe it will give me some more energy.
Oh, and there is good way.
Okay.